The second generation DS4 compact premium hatch deserves more recognition than it'll probably get. For us, this is the most distinctive and potentially the most interesting car of its kind in this part of the market. There are sharp looks, a standout cabin, and the option of clever damping technology too. PHEV engine tech's there if you want it, and all the powertrains are efficient. In short, there's lots to like, if you don't mind the premium pricing.
Most of the DS4's engineering is familiar from rival Stellantis, Peugeot and Vauxhall models in this segment, but DS has embellished it with extra tech features like active scan suspension and night vision. Engine-wise, there's a 130 horsepower, 1.5 litre BlueHDi 130 diesel for those who are still addicted to the black pump, but the bulk of the range is based around 3 conventional PureTech petrol units, a 3-cylinder 1.2 litre turbo with 130 horsepower, and 2 1.6 litre power plants with either 180 or 225 HP. The further E-Tense plug-in hybrid 225 model that we're trying here uses that 1.6 litre PureTech Unit 2, but mates it to a 108 brake horsepower electric motor powered by a 12.4 kilowatt-hour battery for a combined output of 225 horsepower and an electric driving range of up to 38.5 miles. The E-Tense is rated at 232.3 miles per gallon on the combined cycle and up to 27 grams per kilometre of CO2, which means a low 11% BIK status. If you want to do better, then a full electric version is also planned. DS hopes that the look of this car will sell it to you, and for sure it is going to stand out in the supermarket car park. At first glance you might be undecided as to whether this is a premium compact hatch or a premium small SUV, and that's entirely intentional because it can be both. This is the conventional version, which is supposed to look luxuriously premium, especially in this test car's high level of spec. Whatever your choice, DS hopes you'll find the styling to be gallically avant-garde. The front dominated by bold double daytime running lights and trendy LED headlamps. In profile, you notice that despite the long bonnet, the shape is somewhat compact, 4.4 metres in length, with a swept-back roofline and sharp panel creases, all of it originally inspired by the brand's DS Aero Sport Lounge concept car. The rear sees the roof stretch down very low onto a sloping rear window with an enamel screen print. The slim 3D tail lamps feature laser-embossed scaly finishing and a distinctive LED light signature. Will the same artful illusion be carried forward into the cabin? Get comfortable in the so-called digital seamless cockpit. It's all very plush. Twinkling displays seem to surround you, and there's a sense of stylized design which DS hopes will ensure this model's admission to the premium segment. Your passengers may well gaze around in wonder at what DS calls clou de Paris guilloche finishing, complemented by cabin materials that, depending on the variant, can include pearl-stitched leather, alcantara, forged carbon and wood. The DS4's fully digital cabin is normally made up of no fewer than 3 displays. There's a 10-inch screen replacing conventional dials in the instrument cluster, and an HD infotainment display of the same size in the centre of the dash for media and navigation. This is controlled by a third 5-inch screen further down the centre stack, known as the DS Smart Touch. If that's not enough screen tech for you, it's also possible to specify night vision, and the segment's cleverest head-up display too claimed to be closer to augmented reality than any other system. Another interesting touch is the lack of visible air vents. The main ventilation unit has been integrated behind a strip of physical switches which sit just below the main control screen. The seats are particularly comfortable, and there's plenty of stowage space too. The swept-back roofline doesn't do much for rear seat access, but the aperture remains tall and wide enough to get in relatively easily, and for parents to lean in and strap down their offspring. Once you're inside, it's a big improvement on the dark, cramped coal hole, which was the backseat of the first generation DS4, a model so compromised at the back that rear folk couldn't even open their windows. There's a low transmission tunnel, so in theory, you could fit 3 people back here, but you wouldn't really want to. Avoid base trim, and you'll get this centre armrest with integrated cup holders and a pen tray. Twin central vents are provided with twin USB-C ports nearby, plus there are netted seat back pockets and decently sized door bins built into what are probably the most interestingly designed rear door cards we've ever seen. Raise the tailgate, which can, as here, be had in powered remote opening form. And once you've negotiated the relatively high and practically covered loading lip, you'll be faced with a decently sized 430-litre boot. Push forward the 60-40 split rear bench, and although the seat backs don't fold quite flat, up to 1,240 litres of space will be freed up with the conventional DS4, the total being 1,190 litres with this E-Tense version. If the DS brand can't make this second generation DS4 work, it's hard to see much of a future for the marque. This car does, after all, tick all the current boxes for market growth, tapping into the buoyant segment for premium badged compact hatches and simultaneously appealing to SUV folk. It has a kind of pavement presence that a rival BMW 1 Series, Audi A3 Sportback or Mercedes A-Class noticeably lacks unless it's very expensively embellished. And there is some cutting-edge technology here that you just can't get with those cars. Will all that be enough, though, given compatible pricing? It'll be interesting to see.